You are now listening to the Jay Porks Experience. Listen free on iTunes or at theandydareshow.com. Now, here's Jay.
Yo, what goes on, people? Welcome to another edition of the Jay Porks Experience. I'm Jay Porks. With me, as always, is nobody. I'd first like to thank the people in my house for giving me a little window of silence here, so I can maybe record episode 2 of the podcast. Got tons of stuff to get to today. Tons of stuff that I didn't get to last week. Let's start out of the gate with this. I need an intro. Like, I was gonna do the hello la 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 from Seinfeld, but my dad said not to do that, and for the first time in my life, I took advice from my father, and I stayed away from it. Maybe if I would take some of his other fatherly advice throughout the rest of my life, I wouldn't be such a loser at 26 years old. But that's besides the point. I noticed I have time to kill here, so like I know I talk a lot, but I can talk less. And if you want me to talk less, and you have something you want me to talk about, if you have a website, a business, something you want me to read a live read commercial on the air, like I'll do that. Love for love, baby. You show me love, I'll show you love. That's how I roll. So if you got something and you want me to advertise it for you, hit me up. Comment on this. You can tweet me at jporks. You can go to my Facebook, facebook.com/jporks. I think it's a public profile. The only two people that are blocked from that is the girl I went out with in high school because she's seen me fail enough, and my boss's wife, or she might be my boss today. I'm really not sure. Work is a very confusing place these days. But every time I come on the air and I still have a job is a good day. Even though I hate that place, it's better than having no money. So yeah, you can hit me up if you want to advertise with me. You want me to read your advertisements, yada yada yada, whatever. That bullshit. At jporks on Twitter, facebook.com/jporks, all that shit. You can give me an Instagram, whatever you want to do. We're all over the web. Last week I mentioned that I was going to see Violent Femmes Thursday, Central Park. I did that, and there's some news from that. We'll get to that in a second. I want to give a couple of shout-outs, though. Shout-outs to people on Twitter. Andy, you could edit out this little pause here. And my buddy Christina in Detroit, she hosts a show on 89X FM on the weekends called The Time Warp, and she plays cool stuff. And she also has a website, ChristinaRocks.com. It's called Hang the DJ. Just Google Hang the DJ, ... Hang the DJ. Any website that involves hanging DJs is cool with me. AnnieQuiet.com, ConcertConfessions.com, live music news and reviews for fans by fans, and TheMeatPuppets.com. Coming to a town near you this October/November. I can't believe I actually said slash. I talk like I'm typing. It's fucking crazy. I want to give a couple of sarcastic shout-outs. I'm going to try to fit this segment in. This is shout-outs to people I wish would die. I'll give you an example. The people at concerts who bust open the largest of umbrellas in the world. I don't get how you expect anyone behind you, in front of you, to enjoy their concert experience when you have an umbrella blocking their face. And you can check out my review of the Violent Femmes at Central Park at ConcertConfessions.com, and you can see a couple of pictures with umbrellas. Because we got rained out. Yes, we did. You might have heard on the interwebs that we were rained out 5 songs in, and or 18 minutes in to the first Violent Femmes show in New York in 9 years. Obviously, rain or shine doesn't mean rain or shine all the time. So what happened was it was a whole day of thunderstorms brewing. You ever look in the sky and you see like the blackness and you see like flashes of lightning, but it's holding off and it's warm. And so I'm at work all day. Everyone, all the people I work with, they're like, "You really gonna go into the show tonight? It's gonna pour flash floods." Flash floods. This isn't New Orleans. We don't have flash floods. If it rains, it rains. So I brought a garbage bag from work with the intention of when it starts raining, I'm just gonna put this shit over my head like a fucking poncho and rock that shit out. So I get to Central Park. They let me in at 5 o'clock. I was very shocked that I thought doors open. Doors. Air quotes. Doors. I think I got in at 5 o'clock. Doors were supposed to open at 6. So I get to the bleachers. There's a nice little back spot. Like in Central Park, Rumsey Playfield, they put tarp over the grass slash dirt, and they have these bleachers in the back. And I never thought to sit on the bleachers, because I've always had a shitty camera. But I don't anymore. I have a good camera that doubles as binoculars, so when there's a good seat, I'm gonna take it, and I did. So I took a seat on the bleachers, and I'm looking through my phone, reading tweets, and I noticed that there's a tweet from Live Nation New York City, NYC. I don't believe I actually almost said NYC. The tweet from Live Nation New York City that says set times have been moved up. The Bogmen 6:15, Violent Femmes 7:15, due to inclement weather. The Bogmen are the opening act for the Violent Femmes. They were interesting to say the least. They went on at 6 o'clock. They got like 14 people in that band. It's at least 10. They've got a bongos. They've got a little mariachi player over there. They've got a keyboard guy with effects. They have the keyboard guy always doubles as the sound effects guy. So whatever weird noises they're making. And their lead singer, his voice is like sounds a little Frank Blackish or Black Francis-ish. I don't know what name he's going under now. But and they sound like they're a high school glee club that grew up listening to the Violent Femmes in Wisconsin. But I Wikipedia'd them, and they're from Huntington, New York, or upstate New York. People say that it's not upstate, it's Huntington. I'm in New York City. Anything that's not in New York City is upstate. It could be 10 minutes away, it could be 10 hours away. You could be in Albany or Poughkeepsie, you're still upstate. So the Bogmen did their thing from 6 to at least 6:45, 6:50. I had written down on my little notes. I was taking handwritten notes. And as they're going on, the main topic is I'm looking at the sky, and it looks like the rain is holding off. Looks like we dodged a bullet. I hung my garbage bag over the bleachers. I saw some people there was a place where people were smoking cigarettes, because I don't know if you heard, in Central Park, you're not allowed to smoke cigarettes. That's right, folks. Outside, surrounded by trees, you're not allowed to smoke cigarettes. They've legislated the oxygen. I can understand if it was my house, if it was your house, if it was your business. It's a fucking park, dude. Bloomy, you're crazy. I'll drink a 32-ounce Diet Coke while I'm at it. But you're not allowed to smoke cigarettes in Central Park. So they by the Johnny on the spots, the little porta potty things, I saw some people smoking cigarettes, so I was like, I'm going over there to smoke. So I smoked my cigarette. Felt a raindrop. It's like 6:45. Bogmen are finishing up their set. And the 6 of us gave out a collective, oh, fuck. I don't believe that we're going to have to do this. So I run back to my seat, where I notice a kid is grabbing my garbage bag that's hanging over the railing. Yo, dude. That's mine. That came from Staten Island with me. He's like, oh, really? Okay, you can have it. And he actually gave it back to me. I know that I literally brought it, and I know that I'm not lying, But I could have easily been, and why would you believe me? He didn't see me come in with the guy. He was like a new kid. I didn't know he was there. I went back to my seat. He's grabbing the garbage bag. I'm like, no, that's mine. He said, okay. Okay. All right. I guess I look a little tougher than I am, I guess. But he's a cool kid. So I put the garbage bag on, and it stops raining. It was only a couple of drops, but I put the garbage bag on just in case. So it stops raining. We're waiting for them to clear off the stage of the Bogmen's stuff. They have like 45 instruments on stage. So it takes them a little while. But they eventually get the stuff off, and a little after 7 you hear the sounds of some old creep talking over good jazz. That means somebody's playing Frank Sinatra. And they were playing New York, New York as the Violent Femmes were coming onto the stage. And as they came on, a bunch of people on the bleachers darted towards, like, right in front of the stage, towards the pit, if you will. Like, I want any business being over there. I got a good seat, and I'm fucking great. So I'm sitting back. They come out, and I hit record, and I hear the first couple of strokes of Hallowed Ground, and we're off. Hallowed Ground, and I'm like, I don't believe I'm seeing the fucking Violent Femmes right now. I was like delighted, and the rain held off. We got Hallowed Ground, we got Nightmares, then we got All I Want, or it might have been All I Want, then Nightmares. Those are the first 3 songs. Not off their debut album. They're playing their debut album in its entirety tonight, 1983, self-titled Violent Femmes. So right before they dive into it, Brian Ritchie, the bass player, says, we're about to take you on a trip through time and space and psychology. And then you hear those famous riffs. Blister in the Sun. And, you know, screeching from all the people running and going crazy that they can't believe they're playing Blister in the Sun. Even though they're playing that album and that's the first track on that album, people are still surprised. So about 2 minutes into Blister in the Sun, what begins to happen? It turns into a blister in the rain as raindrops start tumbling down like there's no tomorrow. People start popping open their umbrellas right as we're getting up to the last like little chorus part. We're in full umbrella mode. People are booing the rain. I hear people screaming, boo, aw, man. I've got the garbage bag. I'm poking a hole in the garbage bag to fit my camera lens out of. Right now it's raining and I can't move my camera. I'm trying to finish off recording Blister in the Sun, and I'm like, I hope I don't break my $250 camera because I was stupid enough to try to use it in the rain. So I'm recording. I'm inside the garbage bag. My head is no longer outside the garbage bag. It's just, it looks like there's a lump and there's a camera lens poking out of a hole in this black garbage bag. And about a minute into add it up, I hear a security guard screaming, off the bleachers, off the bleachers. I'm like, fuck. Add It Up is one of my favorite Violent Femmes songs. That part where 1, 1, 1, because you left me. The counting part, the part about taking drugs because of all the people who make you take drugs, I relate that to my life a lot. So I was very upset when I had to hit stop because some asshole is making me get off the bleachers because there's lightning, quote unquote. And then after Add It Up, Brian Ritchie gets on. He's like, guys, hang out. They're making us go off stage because there's lightning. But hang out, we will be back. We promise we'll be back. And they got off stage. And as they were leaving the stage, I really wish I could have been this guy. But there was a guy who screamed, I hope you know that this will go down on your permanent record. That guy's my hero. Seriously. I wish I could be that timely. That was funny. So I go back to that little cigarette smoking area I was at, and the rain just keeps coming. I think I'm cool. I got my garbage bag. And we're waiting for them to come back out. Wait 15 minutes. Now all of a sudden, I'm like, you know what? I'm going to walk towards the exit. The exit's on the other side of the park. If I start walking towards the exit, maybe something happens in the 10-15 minutes it's going to take me to do this. So I start walking, and I start walking, and I get to the end exit, and I see these two kids standing there, and they don't want to leave. You know, they're on the fence. None of us want to leave, but everybody's leaving because it's raining like shit, and Central Park has a 10 o'clock ceiling. So how long could we possibly wait before they're going to come back out and have enough time to give us a fulfilling set? So these two kids don't want to leave, and they're like, we're waiting for them to make an announcement. And the kid's like, announce what? You can't see the fucking stage. I turn around. He's right. I'm only about 50 feet away from the stage. And the rain is so thick, so dense, that I can't see it. What happened was, I guess a cold front was moving in, because it was 90 the day before, and it was 70 the day after. 65 the day after. So I guess a cold front moving in, that caused it to rain like nuts like that. So I walk out of Central Park, like it's East 69th and 5th Avenue, something like that. I walk to the train station, what feels like 10 blocks. It's the muddy banks of Central Park. First of all, it takes us an hour to get out of the park. We're like all swimming out of the park. That tarp they put over the dirt/grass begins to have a substance come up from under it, what looks like coffee with a lot of heavy cream in it. And then you notice you're like 10 feet away from the porta potties, and you're not sure if that's shit water or not. And you notice you gotta go. So I start walking. I get to the train station. I see some kids from the show. And I'm like, listen, what time did you guys leave? I left about 10 minutes ago. And they're like, we left right after it got postponed. Inside, I was like, yes, it got postponed. I wasn't a pussy that left the show early. They really did postpone it because it really was raining hard. So they postponed it to a date to be announced in October. So 5 songs, 18 minutes. Violent Femmes reunion tour, paused. Sucked. I got on the train. Here's what's crazy. Last week I mentioned maybe I can get home by midnight. I got home at like before 10 o'clock. So bad. I'm just glad I had the common sense to tape Blister in the Sun and not try to record it. Not try to like enjoy it, I mean. Sometimes I have these moments at shows where I'm like, I'm not going to be a journalist for this song. I'm going to enjoy the show and take it all in. Every time I do that, I get home and I'm like, why did I do that? I should have taped that song. I got on the train, headed home, soaking freaking wet. Here's an example. It's Saturday now. I'm recording this Saturday afternoon. That was Thursday night. My sneakers are still wet. My pants are still wet. But I'm the only guy with a pair of black pants in the office at work just in case I have a problem. Which is what I did have. So that's, I mean, and then I was lucky enough to get home and turn on the TV, and my crappy football team, the New York Jets, were, doing their best to not beat the Patriots. So Geno Smith doing his best Mark Sanchez impression. But I'll hold off on the sports for a little while. So that was the Muddy Banks of Central Park. Listen, I was excited. Like, I'm glad I got Blister in the Sun live. Like, I never thought I'd hear that live. I never thought I'd see that band live. I never thought I'd go to a show that had rain or shine on the tickets and end up having it postponed. Another tidbit, it's postponed to a day in October to be announced. I really hope it's not October 5th. Because I still got my Fountains of Wayne versus Local H query. Fountains of Wayne Soul Asylum, Evan Dando versus Local H. Probably go see Fountains of Wayne. I just added Traffic and Weather to one of my Spotify playlists. Chuck Scarborough turns to Sue Simmons. Says, "Sugar, you don't know what you're missing." That show's gonna be fun. So I'm gonna try to secure my photo pass and get to that show. October 5th. And hopefully the Violent Femmes play on a day. Here's the thing about buying concert tickets months in advance. For now, I have a job during the day. So I go to shows based on if I can get there. Like if it's a day that's gonna work out well in my work schedule. If it's not an early morning the next day. So if they want to have their show on a Saturday night, the rescheduled show, that's a problem for me. I work 9 a.m. on Sunday. So let's hope it's on a day that doesn't conflict with anything else I have to do. And don't be October 5th. Imagine? Imagine they like we're gonna play October 5th. Sorry, Mr. Forks. We're gonna that scheduling query you had between which shows to go to, we're gonna fuck that shit up for you. I thought they were just gonna cancel and not give us our money back because we got 5 songs. We did get the Violent Femmes after all. Craziness. Swimming home. And by the time I get to the ferry, it slowed up. I mean, if it was manageable rain, if it was drizzle, it would have been okay, but it was bad. Shoutouts. I've got more shoutouts. Speaking of work, shoutouts to those people that do math on the back of your check. When the waiter brings along your check, and you look for the tax, and you start doing percentages and adding stuff and figuring out what you're going to leave for the tip, die. I stayed up all night thinking of ways to incorporate jokes into the menu items to earn an extra dollar or two from you. And you walked into the restaurant with a set number of what you're going to leave as a tip? Die. How about tipping based on service? No one ever thought of that. I mean, I thought you tip based on service. Isn't it to ensure proper service? No, it's not, because that would be tips, not tips. But yeah, shout out to those people. Math on the receipts. Die. Also, the Mass Transit Association, is it? Something. And the MTA, the people responsible for keeping New York City's buses and trains going, die. I get on the bus the other day, and there's 2 bus drivers. There's the bus driver who's driving is being trained by another bus driver. Obviously, he's new. And I hear him telling the bus driver, the trainer is telling the trainees, like, listen, you can't make those times that it says on the schedule. So don't even try. Don't even try to make the times. Then why are they on the schedule if we're not going to try to make those times? Like the complexities that happen in this life bother the fuck out of me. So they make bus schedules, but the bus drivers are not allowed to show up at the bus stop at the time that's on the schedule. They get fined for being early. They're not allowed. They can be late, but they're not allowed to be on time. Die. And those people with umbrellas at concerts can die too. I mean it's insane. I did get some good pictures though. People ask me, how do you get such good pictures? I take video and I chop it. Nobody can take. You know how you take good pictures? You buy a $2,000 camera. That's how you take good pictures. Unless you do that, you need to use my technique of taking video and screen capture and cut and enter it into your thing. If you go to concertconfessions.com and read the Violent Femmes review, there's one pic I have of Gordon Gano playing guitar towards the end of Blister in the Sun when everyone's got their umbrellas out and there's a sea of umbrellas with rain bouncing off it, and there's this one person with their phone or camera, like their arm is up and you see they're taking a picture. It's a good shot. I'll put the link down in the. There'll be a link to the review under this podcast on the indiedeershow.podbean.com. Wherever you find it, there'll be a link to the Content Confessions review. Check out that picture. I shout outs to that guy for being so dedicated. Hope no one from Rolling Stone was around going to tell him about his annoying concert behaviors. Everyone at shows is worried about what everyone else is doing, and they're not worried about what the band on stage is doing. That irks me. But yeah, people with umbrellas fucking up my sight line. die. And I mean, the J-Pork's never-ending podcast series. What can I say? I mean, this is gonna be fun. If you can play an instrument or you know someone who can play an instrument, I'm gonna try to get a song, a little intro song, like whatever the 10, 15 seconds it takes to intro me when Andy's saying "Welcome to the J-Pork's Experience." If you can play an instrument, you wanna get in on that, send me something at JPorks, JPorks on Facebook, JPorks on Instagram. I got a lot of commentary. They're like, "You actually said the JPorks Experience. I thought you only write that." No, I talk like that. That's what I do. JPorks every five. I literally say content confessions, live music, news and reviews for fans by fans. I literally say that every 30 seconds in real life. You know how easy a podcast is gonna be for me? I talk to myself at bus stops. I make jokes, and when people don't laugh, I get pissed. It's gonna be hard for me to do. You should host your own podcast. Famous last words. I hope I'm a little louder this week. I'm using a microphone my dad gave me. Believable. So yeah, that was the Fems. It was fun. Read the review, contentconfessions.com. Live music, news, and reviews for fans by fans. I've got video of Blister in the Sun on YouTube, and I've got video of Hallowed Ground on YouTube. Very awesome. And I mean, hey, the future right now is who knows. Like I said before, I'm not sure who owns the restaurant I work at. I don't know how much longer the gates will be open or whatnot. Just in case any of my bosses are listening to this may or may not be a fake place that doesn't exist, but it does exist. And last week when I was like, "Oh, I'm a waiter and it sucks. It fucking sucks." I'm gonna say that every week too, because it does. And I'm so sick and tired of the people saying, at least you got a job. Yeah, at least I have a job. At least. But I would much rather have a good job. See, the problem is I went to the College of Staten Island. I went to CSI for 4 years, and I took out loans, and they didn't educate me to the point where I would have a good enough job to pay back said loans. So now I'm sitting home, and I'm getting letters that say I owe $4,000 in loans. I got an idea. School? Am I or am I not on the books? Dock my fucking checks. Do I not have a bank account? Your threats don't scare me. They just make me depressed and make me do more drugs. So you might want to cut some deal with me because I'll fucking escape. I'll go hide in fucking Moscow, Idaho, and you'll never find me again. Trust me. And there'll be like show reviews on Content Confessions from some guy named Paige Orks. Say I won't do it. I will. So we got that. Yeah, I mean, listen, I know I have all my limbs, but I make $1.81 an hour. And I really hope that, like, as you're listening to this, you're like, I feel bad for him. And you call up your friends and you get me a job. Because I really need one. I really need it. You need a change. You know when you work at a place and you just come to that point where you need a change? They're fucking your shit up. I don't even break the rules at work. I don't even give out free wine anymore. Because you know what the thing about giving out free wine is? Everybody's single when you're giving. All these women are single when you're giving them a free glass of wine. But when you give them the check and you put a little heart around your name and you tell them that you're single, all of a sudden the wedding rings come out. I swear to God, they put the wedding rings away. So I don't give out anything free anymore. The only thing free is my winning smile. Assholes. I can't have a glass of wine, it's too early. Bitch, I'm being nice. Tell me what you want. I don't want anything to drink. Just the water. Just the water? Isn't that a beverage? Is that liquid that you drink through a straw? I call that a beverage. So then that's what you want to drink. You don't want nothing. One thing worse than that is the people want to start with hot tea. If you want to start with hot tea, you're not going to see me for another 20 minutes. You're not going to see me till your tea's cold and I'm not bringing you milk. You're fucking annoying. People don't realize how annoying they are. And they look at you like, oh, how hard is your job? Not that hard. Like they say, like what is Randall and Clerks. This job would be great if it wasn't for all the fucking customers. Ain't that the truth? So anyway, I've talked for a half hour. Are you kidding? About nothing? A half hour about nothing. Okay. All right. So I'll get to it then. The next concert I have on deck is gonna be October 5th. It's gonna be Fountains of Wayne Soul Asylum and Evan Dando. I'm gonna buy that ticket. Like as soon as I get $30 in my bank account, I'm gonna buy that ticket. And then after that, October 12th, it's gonna be the Meat Puppets at the Brooklyn Bowl in Williamsburg. Excellent, excellent place. And what else am I gonna do? All right. Oh, question. I'll poll you guys. Why not? Say there was a guy or girl who you may or may not be in a non-labeled relationship with, and it was sort of new, a date or two, lots of texting. Would you take that person out to a concert that's in 2 months as a date idea? I might. I might not. I mean, it's not like she wants to see the Meat Puppets. I have to take her to see some band I probably am going to be annoyed by, but I want to be in my realm. I don't want to. I can't go out to eat anymore. I'm down to 176 as of an hour ago. That's from 274 last summer. I've lost 98 pounds. I don't want to see food. Food is the enemy. Fuck food. Excuse me. So again, you can get me at jporks on Twitter. Go to jporks.com. That's the personal blog with only my show reviews. I should update that. We're probably still like at Meat Puppets, but since there's no bosses over there but me, I don't keep track of it because I'm an idiot. We also have jporksmusic.blogspot.com. It's shit J Pork says. I might be posting the podcast on there because I noticed these are in YouTube vids, which is awesome. Because some people don't know how to play a podcast. They don't know how to use iTunes. So I'm glad these are in YouTube form, so even the layman can listen to it. And I'll probably put that on Shit J Pork Says. I should have did the last one, but I wasn't really proud of it. I thought I was just talking a lot, and I didn't think that I said anything. I didn't say anything today, but it's been fun. So you can go there. You can go to anniequiet.com for your daily music news. They got music news being pumped out all the time about bands that you give a shit about. Not the biggest headline of the week, which was Morrissey canceled his book deal or something. He had an autobiography, then he canceled it. It may or may not be back on right now. I got news for you. If that's the last time I ever have to see, hear, or read Morrissey's name, I can die happy. If I never hear that guy's name again, I will be a delighted soul. Morrissey. So, I think I'm gonna wrap it up here. I'm gonna wrap it up on a strong note because I don't wanna overrun and say something I'm gonna regret and really lose my job. So see, I haven't come up with like an intro thing yet. I haven't come up with an outro thing yet. So I'm just gonna do like when Hank Moody finishes a book, I'm just gonna go hit the 3 W's right now. Whiskey, weed, and Warren Zevon. Late.
This has been the J Porks Experience. Thank you so much for listening.